What's going on, guys? Randy Birdsong, and we're out on the Raven today, and I wanted to do a little what, when, why of what we're doing planting the Big Tine Borderline today. I come in, and this is a spot we've had Borderline in before, and this is one of our favorite places on our whole place right here. This is a place we call Death Valley, and you know, when Big Tine developed Borderline, they initially developed it for like a screening cover to be able to access, which access is huge. But what we found over the last couple of years of using it and testing it is there's so many other ways, man, to be able to utilize this stuff to your advantage. And one of the most critical ways that we've found is being able to actually manipulate deer and actually keep deer from going into areas where you don't want them to go. And that's exactly what we're doing right here. We're kind of killing two birds with one stone. What we got right here is we got about 1.5 acres of foundation clover to my left. It comes in, ties into the borderline, and then it'll meet some standing beans right here. So we got an intersection right here. We've got our tree stands right here in this big pine tree behind me. You can see we call that the eagle nest up there. We've shot a couple of good bucks out of there over the years. And the reason that we put borderline here is because, like I said, we're killing two birds with one stone. We access it, most of the time we're hunting this with a northerly wind, northeast wind. So we're accessing it from the south, so we can slip into that big pine tree without anything out here in this big 4 or 5 acre plot being able to detect us. And then the other thing is like I said, we are hunting it with a northerly wind, so we don't want those deer on the south side of us. So we're using this to kind of keep them on the north side of us and to funnel them right past the tree stand. So killing a lot of birds with one stone, but just a lot of advantage of the borderline. And we're planting it, this is the latter part of May. This is about critical time to get into the ground because you can plant it later, but what happens is if you don't allow enough time, you're not going to reach full potential. And then also you're going to run into the later summer months and you're going to lose moisture, and it's probably not going to do what it needs to do. So get it in, the latter part of April, all the way kind of latter part of April to latter part of May, depending on where you're at. And this stuff is packed full. It's got like 6 or 7 different kinds of seeds in it, from sun hemp to Big Tine sorghum to Egyptian wheat, a bunch of different seeds that makes up a blend that'll stand tall, it'll stand through the weather, and it'll last all season. And what we found over the last couple of years, like I said, of using it and testing it, is in a place like this, instead of going in and having 4 or 5 good hunts through the season and then every deer in that area knowing exactly where you're at and how you're hunting them, we're getting 25, 30 sets sometimes in some of these places, and that's what it takes in a lot of cases to kill that target deer. So it's allowing us to hunt a lot longer out of the same place to be able to get it done with almost zero detection from deer, of being able to access in and out without any detection. So a lot of benefits to the Big Tine Borderline. Kind of told you what we're planting, why we're planting it, when we're planting it, and then also we're planting it we're just hand sowing it out of this 24-volt Hooyman electric spreader. And I'm telling you, man, I don't know about y'all, but I know for me, I get tired of sitting there. I've hand cranked all my life with an old bag seeder. You're always jacking with it. It's uncomfortable. It's hanging over your shoulder. You're wore out by the end of the day. Man, this thing right here comes with a rechargeable 24-volt lithium battery. You just slide it right in. It's got a rate adjustment on the side, and you just pull the trigger, and you're spreading, man. It's got an awesome harness that goes on over both shoulders right here. So instead of just having that old bag spreader across one shoulder hanging off to the side uncomfortable, this thing right here sets tight to your chest, perfect. Everything's right where you need it. You got a big seed opening right here. You just loosen this big cap right here, pour your seed in there. You can see how much seed you got left on top from the window right here. It's just, they really put a lot of thought into this design, man, and it shows whenever you're out here actually putting it to use like we are today. You really see the benefits and why they did what they did on this thing. So awesome product from Hooyman. Like I said, we just wanted to shoot a little bit of a what, why, when, because I know for me it was a lot of years of testing, trial and error, and if we can save you guys some time out there and some hassle, that's what we like to do. And as far as working up the ground, I had my disc set cutting pretty good because we hadn't messed with this ground at all. It had, like I said, it had borderline on it from last year. We went in, we cut it up good, and then I actually moved my disc blades and straightened them out a little bit because we don't want to get this seed too deep. So I'll go out there, I'll use the Huey Man spreader, spread it, and then I'll just cut it in one time, just pretty lightly. And by straightening out your disc blades, you're not going to get that seed nearly as deep as what you would if you were cutting deep. So hope some of this information helped. I know, like I said, back 4, 5, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, I wish there was some information like this out there, because it would have saved me a lot of headache, I know. So hope you guys are doing well out there. Check out our YouTube. We'll be having a lot of this kind of stuff on there. So hope this helps. Hope y'all are doing great out there.